Yes, my Jamaican family. Um, I want to talk about people who believe this narrative and those who have taken the COVID-19 vaccine. I won't be disrespectful. Don't worry yourself. You can share this with your people who take the vaccine already. Question: why is it that the vast majority of Jamaicans understand what is going on with this whole vaccine COVID-19 thing, but there's a section of the population, a minority, who run go take the job as soon as it come out, then just run go take it? You might think, what is wrong with people's mind? Why can't they look? Why can't they understand? You're showing them verified information from authoritative and reliable sources, not conspiracy foolishness, you know. You're not share them nothing with, we say, chipping a vaccine and them something. No. You share verified information. You're sharing information regarding the recovery rate of COVID-19. The fact that 99, for persons under 20, for example, 99.9998 of persons under 25, I think, who catch COVID-19 recover. 80% of all COVID-19 cases are asymptomatic, having no symptoms. Asymptomatic transmission is not a thing. It's a rarity. It's so rare that it's statistically insignificant. You're sharing those information with them. You're sharing the fact that if you're under 45, your recovery rate of COVID-19 is 99.996, I think. Yes. In other words, the vast, overwhelming majority of people who catch COVID-19, as they call it, recover. 80% of them have no symptoms. Let me repeat that. 80% of persons who catch COVID, as they define it, have absolutely no symptoms. Even if you're about 70 years old and older, your recovery rate is 99.95, 95, 96, somewhere there. And note, when I say 80% are asymptomatic, you might wonder, say, oh, 1 to the 19.8%, they have symptoms, right? The truth is, the vast majority of that difference, which is the 19.8%, have mild symptoms. Only a very tiny minority of that 19.8% have severe symptoms. You're sharing all of this information, yeah? You're showing Event 201 to people, right? That happened about 2 months or so before the whole COVID-19 thing. You're showing the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum, Johns Hopkins University, military leaders, different country leaders and so on at this table, Event 201, planning out this very thing that is happening. War gaming it out, I should say. And people just look on it and say, okay. And you wonder, what happened to their mind? What happened to their brain? They can't think. What happened? You share information about Robert Malone, the man who helped to invent the mRNA technology that is in this the very so-called vaccine, right? And people just look on it and it's like, hold on, what happened to them brain? You are so tired and confused because you can't understand why people cannot see what you are seeing. You share information regarding Kerry Mullis, the man who invented the PCR test that is telling everybody that they have COVID-19. And it no matter, them just look on you like blank. Almost as if a connecting part in their brain, the part that has to do with logic and reason, has been severed. So them just can't see what you talk. You share information about Dr. What's his name again? Woodard, former Eden, former vice president of Pfizer, the vaccine company, or the pharmaceutical company, telling us about mRNA technology. You're sharing different experts, virologists, immunologists, medical doctors, thousands of them speaking. And people just say, oh, conspiracy theory. You wonder, hold on, something wrong with me? Something, because this doesn't make no sense. You're looking at the fact that, oh God, I could go on and on. But you're wondering, let me wrap it up. Why people can't see what I'm seeing? Why this minority of Jamaicans can't understand what is going on? It comes down to a few factors, and I can't cover all of them, but I'm going to cover a few. Authority. People believe in authority. Let me give you an example. If I go out there and say, for example, anything, yeah, just say something that people can either believe or not believe. And if the prime minister go out and say the same thing, right? The odds are people are going to believe the prime minister more than me. You understand? Why? Not because the prime minister is more educated than I am. Not because the prime minister is more, I don't know, have more expertise in the subject. No. Just because he is the prime minister. That's it. It's like when you go to the doctor and the doctor prescribes something to you. People believe that because the doctor prescribed it, that whatever disease you're suffering from, that is the prescription for it. People believe in authority. People believe in authority. So when authority does wicked things to them, when authority does things for money and power, them can't see it. People believe that individuals can be evil. So everybody know somebody wicked and evil. Yeah? You know somebody down the road where there's some wicked things, and you know somebody up the road, and you know somebody down there so, and somebody over there so, where evil and wicked and terrible. But people think that once you get into authority, suddenly your evilness and terribleness disappear. Because how could these Faucis and the Gates and the WHO and the United States president, and how could these people be evil? They can't be evil. They can't do bad things. They can't want to subjugate me. No. They are just trying to fight a pandemic. That's all they're trying to do. Sorry. But people believe in authority. The next thing, let me stress the authority thing now. As it relates to the efficacy of the so-called vaccines, Pfizer say theirs is, for example, say 95% effective, and the other one say his is 90% effective, and so on. People don't understand, say, the governments, there's no independent verification of these claims. People don't understand it, People think say the vaccine company says something, give the data to the government, and the government scientists go through it and verify that it's true, and then put it on the public. And so it works, people. The company, Pfizer, for example, gives the government their studies, their recommendation, and the government does give you. Do you think the Jamaican government actually sit down and bring its scientists together and verify these claims? No. You're getting it straight from the pharmaceutical company. It has not been verified by any government. You understand that? And the reason why is because it's being done under emergency protocols. The WHO said there's an emergency, there's a pandemic. Because of that, it's a legal system, Because of that, the legal system that says, okay, now we can administer experimental drugs to the public becomes a reality. And that's it. Twisting of words. They call this thing a vaccine. Before we go this up, efficacy. 90% effective, and so on and so forth. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? If you hear say a particular drug is 90% effective, what do you think? Or 95% effective? You think that 90% or 95% of people who take it actually recover. So you think, You think that 90% of the time it is effective at what it does. That is not what the vaccine manufacturers mean by effective. Your definition is not their definition. When they say effective, they mean effective at what? Lessening symptoms according to their studies that has not been verified by anybody else. You understand that? Oh God, there are so many things to talk about. Vaccine, they call it a vaccine. A vaccine confer immunity, people. This so-called COVID-19 vaccine does not confer immunity. Now, people might say, oh, I'm misinformation and rah, rah, rah. Why is it that, am I saying something that is wrong, incorrect? No, but they're labeling it as misinformation. Why? Because they know that if you know this, you're going to look a little deeper. They know that you're intelligent, and they know you're intelligent. You just need some basic information, some basic points to look into to make your brain start click. And that's why they will label me as conspiracy theorist and all of these things. Not because they're saying I am incorrect, because they're afraid that you might start to use your brain. They're afraid that you might turn off the TV. They're afraid that you might actually look into their claims. You understand that? So people take the vaccine because of the so-called vaccine, because of they believe in authority. It's like the older people in Jamaica. If you come on TVJ news in a real, only what come on prime time news is real for old time Jamaican people. Because we grew up say we have a sit down when 7 o'clock come and watch news. What is the news? The news is a corporation selling advertisements. That's it. Advertisements. That's it. That's it. Do you think the news is there to inform you? The news is there because they know that when them say news, you're going to sit down and watch. Then they can sell your eyeballs to advertisers for them to make money. So the news is not there to inform you. The news is there to give you information that will make you have an emotional reaction. That's why every single thing will happen, every single murder that happen in Jamaica come on news. It's there to keep a part of your brain engaged in an emotional way. So they can sell it. They can sell your attention to other people. That is why when 7 o'clock come and the news start, at 7 o'clock, or 7:10, the news don't start yet. Because be advertisements. I'm sorry to be laughing, but it's a serious matter. People believe in authority. They just believe. And it's very hard for people to look for themselves. It's so difficult. People are easily confused, by the way. That's the next thing. People are so easily confused. I talk to people and I ask them simple questions sometimes about COVID-19. What is the recovery rate? What is your risk? And all of that. Say, for the average person under 20, you are more likely to be struck by lightning or die in a car accident and die from COVID-19. Sorry. You know that? People can't see it. People just don't want to see it. You understand that? Oh, God. There's so many things. The freedom of Jamaicans, our freedoms are being taken away under the guise of basically medical martial law. And people just can't see it. Because they believe. And once you get somebody to believe, it's hard to show them information. It's very hard. I don't know. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Recently, I know somebody who took the job. This is a young lady that I've been sending, among many other people. I'm sending information to thousands of people a week. But this person I know, and she sent me a text the other day and said, she's sick. So I said, what happened to you? She said, she's very sick. She's sick. So I said, by the way, this person is under 25, So I said to the person, say, what, your period or something, or, She said, no. So I start get curious. Then she said, text me and say, she take the vaccine. Oh, this is somebody who we talk about the things, We talk to her, and show her information, And she verify it and say it's true and understand it, and she run go take it. And I cannot. And by the way, you know the reason why she take it? Because she want a job and she want to be able to travel. You know what hear me I say? She want a job and she want to be able to travel. Nowhere in Jamaica, well, except for CVM and 1 and 2 place. Nowhere else in Jamaica is mandating this thing right now, And nothing, she not think about her health and our fear of COVID-19. No. She want a what? A job. And she want to fly on plane. Up to now, I am so disappointed in this person. I'm so disappointed. It's like, Betty did tell me say you're afraid of COVID-19. Because me understand fear. But you put yourself in a position where you can let me not continue here. But people, just remember, some people find it hard to think. Some people just don't have information. That's the next thing. Some people just don't have information. They just don't know. Them sit down every day and they are surrounded by BBC, CVM, NBC, ABC. All of these mainstream media is their only source of information. So there's nothing to compare it to for some people. People do not believe that people in authority can be evil, wicked tyrants. They just don't believe it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Everybody have sin in them. Everybody have wickedness in them. Wicked thoughts, wicked, things about them that are not good. Why is it that when you think that you elevate that person to positions of authority, why is it that you think that those wickedness and wicked thoughts and wicked behaviors that we all have, why do you think it disappear? Why do you think it suddenly, their job and their responsibility as a doctor or a prime minister suddenly take over the sinful nature in them? Why do you think that? Why? I don't get it, but I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. So the next time you talk to anybody about COVID-19, next thing you talk to them and show them the verifiable information. The next time you try to reason with these people, please remember, some of them just have a problem thinking, some of them just don't know, and some of them just believe in authority. That's it. That's it. I know the worst thing about this whole thing, the COVID-19 narrative, is so easily debunked, It's so easy to see through it, It's not like you have to be a scientist or you have to be somebody with a PhD. A high school student can understand. A primary school student, what may I say, can understand if given information. But yet still, big man or woman can't get it. Just can't get it. And it's so sad. It is so sad that people's brain have been shut off. And fear too, fear is the next thing. Me just attack, me just attack. Probably I'm not, that, put everything in order, but me just attack. Fear cut off reason. You know that? Fear. When you're fearful, when fear is induced in you, it triggers the fight or flight response. No, you say fight, fight, flight, or reason, Fight or flight. You put in a position where you're not able to think, you're just gonna just do. When you see what go on in Australia now, they're basically living in an open air prison. I've seen some things happening in Australia that I cannot, for the life of me, I can't fathom it. People, if it's happening in Australia, in the US, why do you think it'll come to Jamaica? No better wake up, No better wake up. I could talk about so many technical details about this. I could talk, because I've been talking for a while, people. I've been talking and talking and talking. I've been trying to educate the people and show them. I've been saying to them, do your own research. The other day, I say mainstream media come out and I said, don't do your own research because it's bad for you to do your research. This guy named MD Zag or something like that, one doctor on YouTube, come on and I tell people, say, you have to be trained to understand what is going on. Trained? You see, many doctors are losing their credibility, You see, when you become a doctor, you're going to become a part of an exclusive club. You understand? But because of the internet nowadays, and information is so at hand, the authority of doctors now can be easily challenged. In other words, the common man can understand, for example, the effects of a particular medication, understand the trials this medication went through, and they can get basically all the data that a doctor would get on a medication. The average man can have more information than him. So I think what is happening with the medical doctors are, why they are saying, oh, you have to be trained to understand and rah, 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 they're being threatened. Their knowledge base, the exclusive club that they're in, exclusive knowledge, is now threatened. The average man can come in and challenge a doctor as it relates to why he's prescribing X or Y. And doctors don't like that. You think a doctor like no average man, when he's not a doctor, I come in and I challenge him on medical issues? No, sir. I 7, 8 years me go to college for this, you know, money me spend for this, and you not go no way and I come and I challenge me. That's the way them think, you know. A lot of them think like that. Anyway, people, there are too many things to talk about, but all I can say to you, know, do your own research here, people. Do your own research. And for those Jamaicans and people of the world who just believe authority and run because fear, I'm sorry for you. So I can say, I'm sorry for you. There are some people that cannot be reached. That's what we need to realize. Some people cannot be reached. You won't be able to reach them. You won't be able to have them make an informed consent. A simple fact like the fact that when you go to take the jab, they do not ask you to carry your immunization card. That simple fact would trigger a lot of people to start to wonder, you know, and think. But you see, for some people, it's like it just go through 1 ear and come out the other. It don't mean nothing. Them brain cannot. It's like two parts of their brain supposed to connect a wire, and it just not connect. So no matter what you do, you can't convince. You cannot show the information that will make them pause. Some people, and we need to understand, you know, not all people. You cannot reach people who cannot think. You can't reach them. All you can do is pray and leave them. You cannot reach them. Don't get in a fight with nobody over no vaccine. Left them alone. If you realize I can't reach a man, if you look for himself and make an informed decision, he can make the decision to go and take it, you know, but guess what? Let it be an informed decision. It should be an informed decision. For and against. And you go and you take a thing. Fine, no problem. But guess what? Most people can't do that. Them can't do that. Because to make an informed decision would mean that they would have to have the responsibility to know and to make a good decision with knowledge. Most people don't want to do that. Most people want somebody to tell them what is good for them. Mr. Tufton said, I must take it, so I take it. That's what most people think, you know. Bro God said, I must take it, so I take it. The question of your medical information, whatever you take into your body, you know, should be between you and your doctor, you know. When I realize that what the government is doing is stepping between you and your doctor and demanding by punishment and force that you take this thing. When you go to a doctor with an ailment or a concern, and the doctor prescribe a medication to you, you have the choice whether you're going to go to the pharmacy and fill it or not. And even when you go to the pharmacy and fill the prescription and get the medication, you have the decision. It's your decision whether you're going to put it in your mouth or not, or inject it in yourself or not. What the government has effectively done and convinced us of is that no. It's not between you and your doctor. We are going to become your doctor. We are going to become the authority that dictates by punishment that you take a medication. When you go to your doctor, the doctor not to you say, if you not take it, may I take away your job. If you not take it, may I go make sure you're treated different from other people. If you not take it, I'm going to punish you. No, but the government is stepping between you and your doctor and saying, listen, if you not take this, may I punish you. The government is not even saying to you, here, we recommend They tell you that, we're not making it mandatory. We're not making it mandatory. But yet still, them tell the private sector, make it mandatory. We're not going to make it mandatory. We're just going to make it life for you very difficult. We're just going to make sure you can't feed your family. We're just going to make sure that you can't get into certain places when the time comes, by the way. We're going to just make sure that you're going to starve to death if you don't take it. We're just going to make sure that you'll be vilified. We are going to make sure that, like, just like in Nazi Germany and other places in the world, Mao in China, Stalin in Russia, and many other places, we're going to make sure that you have to wear something on your arm. You know, just like the Jews wear the Star of David to identify themselves in Germany as being Jewish, so people can spit on them and kill them. That's what the Prime Minister is saying, basically, you know. He's saying he's going to have to treat vaccinated different from unvaccinated. Right? Then the question comes now, how are you going to identify who is unvaccinated? How are you going to identify them? Digital identification. So the Jews used to have a Star of David put on them arm by force so that they can be identified as Jewish, so that they can be killed, murdered, spit upon, and all kind of manner evil done to them. A digital identification is going to be had for you who don't take it. And that is why I'm glad, you know, that the vast majority of Jamaicans have still not taken this, you know. Because as much as Jamaicans, the average Jamaican, I should say, don't have the highest level of education, I still have faith, and I think my faith is verified, that we still have a sense of common sense. We still have it, you know. A lot of us have lost it, but we still have it. We still have something in our head where we can connect reason in our brain. Some people, it gone. But Jamaicans generally can understand something without the need for very high education. We're smart, you know, people. We're smart. That's how we can go other countries and outsmart them all the time. Yeah? However, people, my encouragement to you is, by the way, I'm not a medical doctor. I have to say that, you know, because you see, the government have many ways to get at you, you know. They can say, for example, you said something in your video at this point, and it can be construed as impersonating a medical doctor, and because of that, in the law subsection so and so and so, people who impersonate doctors are criminals and blah blah, and before you know you're in a jail. So I have to say, I'm not a medical doctor. However, you don't have to be a medical doctor to have common sense. I would highly encourage you to visit thelastamericanvagabond.com. Thelastamericanvagabond.com. That is a website that can give you almost any information you want regarding COVID-19. It is, all links are supplied in there. So it's not as if the man does tell you things and spews opinion. All links to medical research, to all the experts are there for you to look for yourself. The government will tell you all kind of things, but they will never tell you to do your own research. Oh no. They will never show you the for and against. Just one side, one narrative. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering why the reporters are not talking the truth and rah and this and that, listen, money. Everybody's livelihood is being threatened if you speak the truth. The government is spending hundreds of millions of dollars with the media houses in Jamaica to make sure that only one narrative is played. Anyway, I'll leave it with this. Do your own research. Make sure you have informed consent to make your decision whether you're going to take this thing or not. Because it's your decision, your body, your choice.